Hi. So I want to talk to you about what it's like to come undone in 2015. The first thing I want to say is there's a heightened energy and awareness on our planet right now, and I think it's more important than ever that we really spark this message and make it solidify it so that it happens faster. So I want to ask each and every one of you if you've recently been experiencing a shift in the way you perceive your life. And a lot of people in the metaphysical community believe that there is a shift happening, and in the Christian community they believe that it is the return of the God, the Christ energy and the Christ consciousness coming back. And other people believe it's astrological alignments and cycles that we've had since the beginning of time, which can be dated back to the Mayan calendar. The idea of if anyone knows what the Ouroboros is, the serpent eating its tail, in a cycle that we're going on, and we're at the end and reaching the beginning, the stage of awakening, the age of Aquarius. And so just to let you know that it's okay, it's challenging, and it can be really painful. So just to let you know what has been going on in my life, briefly, is that all of my structures have been crumbling, and I've been on a journey to become a holistic health coach, which I've happily accomplished. And now I'm at a juncture in my life right now where I am facing a new beginning. I'm forced into a new beginning by situations, or I could say that I've been forced, but I've created a situation in which my life is now being turned apart because of this great shift that's happening for all of us. So I just wanted to ask you guys, or to comment below and let me know what has been your experience lately. And okay, so let me tell you a little bit about my shift. So I've become certified as a health coach. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been interested in doing public speaking for a long time, and this is one of the first times that I've recorded a video speaking about anything, and I'm more likely than likely going to edit and redo this, but this is my first shot, so here it goes. We're at a juncture where our souls must be incited by this great frenetic energy that is, for me, palpable as an intuitive, and for others is subtle and more of a perception of the shifting things that have been happening in our economy, including the collapse of the dollar, the rise of the activist-minded individual who's finally at a point where they feel that there's so much civil unrest and so much racial and really, for me, I believe, more societal tension for the average person, that there's this juxtaposition of tragedy and over this very excited energy in the atmosphere that I believe is leading to something great happening in 2015. I feel like a lot of people feel it, a lot of intuitives, empaths, astrologers, numerologers, and just the mystics in general. And it's always been a fringe thing, but people are seeing more that mysticism is more about getting in touch with your God consciousness and who you are than really identifying with the religion. And that may hurt some of my friends who are very Christian and who probably believe me to be very Christian. And I am, in many ways, many respects, a Jesus follower. But I do also believe that a lot of these systems were created to keep us in a place of subservience and submission and not really thinking for ourselves. And so we don't think about our communities, and we don't think about our friends, and we don't think about what other people are going through until it becomes the point where maybe, they need help. And I'm at this situation right now where I've always been a very vulnerable individual, and I've always had a pretty easy time expressing myself But now I'm finding that having to put myself out there in ways that I didn't experience is even more painful, because with social media there's this level of disconnect. There's a connection that I made that was amazing, and there, recently, and then there have been other amazing connections I've made on social media, but I am interested more in philanthropical pursuits and helping people. And there's always this level of this feeling of beauty when you're going through a crisis. There's a beauty in the pain of coming undone. It's so difficult to explain when you're going through, and for part of that reason I think it's hard for me to explain. But there is a simplistic beauty to this tragic, fragile life that we have. And even if it isn't tragic for you now, I'm sure there is a point where you've experienced tragedy and a point where you felt that your soul couldn't go on any further. And that's the time when you should put the energy out there into the world, to God, to pray, to meditate, to do whatever it is that makes you happy. Because what the truth is that with every moment we waste on social media, and every moment that I'm not making connections, like real connections, on social media, the more time that we are really wasting. There was an app that talked about how many hours we wasted on Facebook, and it was the equivalent for me of, I believe, 25 days. And when I thought about that, it shifted. And I didn't change necessarily my Facebook habits, but I was more aware of being caught up into this unreal matrix of superficiality under the guise of philanthropy. So for you guys, I'd like you to follow me on YouTube. I'm going to be putting up a lot of inspirational videos. I'm going to be creating inspirational content for you guys for free, because I want to share it with you, and because I believe that I do have a message to share, despite the fact that I have at times questioned the overextension of my soul to the world, because being vulnerable is a very painful thing, and it's also a very freeing thing. But I feel that there is more power than pain in it, and I feel that it's important for people to be vulnerable. When we're children, we are immersed in this protective womb, in this sack, and then we end up in an environment where everything is literally with a physical slap on our corporeal form. We're forced into this reality where it can be confusing at times. But I think that with reflection and with being aware of your thoughts, you can start to change the patterns. And that's what happened with me when I was 17, and it has continued until now, where I've just turned 40. And I have found that the more that I extend and the more free I am, the less secrets I have, the less baggage I have, the more I have become this nomadic spirit that is wandering, not literally, but in my soul, wandering and searching for this level of connection with other people. I think that we are all looking for this, and I think that it's important that we start understanding our thoughts. And that is my main message, is to really just be aware of your thoughts and to observe them, and then to let them go into the ether, into the atmosphere, into the God consciousness energy, and leave it all up to Jesus or whatever it is that you believe in, and I respect that. Leave it up to the universal force that protects us, and I think that it's really important to realize that the more we're aware of our thoughts, the more we realize, the more that we're able to recognize the fact that we are all connected as a symbiotic organism. And quantum physics is showing this and demonstrating to us how the mere molecular structure of the holographic principle that was discussed by David Bohm, that when an atom on another side of the world, an experiment that was done, when something happens to that there is a holographic picture on the other side of the universe. So we're all connected in our thoughts and what we think about each other, what we say to each other, and how we interact with each other. So people are more aware of that, and I feel like there's more kindness. But there's still this level of this shell, this turtle shell that we keep going back into. And I feel like our consciousness, our energy, our soul, the God within us is really searching to grow. And it sounds maybe blasphemous, but God is growing too. God is not a static thing. And so the more that we change, the more God changes. God is able to experience himself, itself. The mother energy is able to experience itself insofar as its creation is manifesting its true vast potential. And it's hard to do that in a world where we have to pay our bills, and we have to take our kids to school, and we have to deal with our personal relationships and our problems, and then at the same time manifest this energy, whatever it is that our passion is, and really manifest it. And I hope that I've inspired you and opened myself up and somehow let you know a little bit more about my thought patterns and what I think about this energy that is within us all. I hope that you achieved some level of benefit from it, and if you have, you can share the video, and if you haven't, then thanks for watching, and take care, and God bless, namaste, and have a good day. Bye.